Hello, what is up ladies and gentlemen, it is the one and only Mighty the Armadillo here, and I'm of course back for some more yet again for the likes of the Maxi Toys videos. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back for some more of Let's Play of Mario Party 5 for the Nintendo GameCube. So remember last weekend is the fact that we actually did manage to tackle through the last of the remainings of the minigame mode by showing off the minigame tournament and also some of these minigames that we have not played yet for the majority of the Let's Play. So because of that, I think we are basically done with the entire minigame mode as far as it go. Well, mind you, that we still got the last minigame we got to showcase off, but we'll save that until tomorrow, because today, for this particular weekend, is the fact that we are moving on to the next mode, which is bonus mode. And this has been hosted by Mar, which I think that's as far as I'm concerned, that she was actually based off from Chapter 2 in the original Paper Mario for those star spirits. You know, you have to go through the desert and all that stuff. So either way though, once we get into the bonus mode, we're actually going to be able to interact with 3 games. Card Party, Beach Volleyball, in this case a sequel to, well, let's just say a very similar game as in Beach Volley from Mario Party 4, and of course we got ourselves Ice Hockey. So either way though, thankfully, those games are unlocked from the get-go if you manage to the first time playing the game. So either way though, we'll show all 3 of these basically, so I think we should probably get started as in Card Party first. So, an exciting card game with, obviously, we're going to be able to interact with the actual Card Party board itself. So, honestly, out of all the actual, extra stuff of how this game offers us to, this is probably the best one. Mainly it's because, well, we'll point it out whenever we're able to get this thing started, so either way though, you have a choice between short game, standard game, long game, or the longest game. And as you can tell, depending on what mode you're going to be selecting, basically it tells us how much grid by grid cards we're going to have to deal with. But for this particular game right here, I'm going to be choosing, actually, no matter what though, we haven't selected Luigi for quite some time, ever since in Pirate Dream, and as far as computer players we're about to be faced off against, we have Daisy, Yoshi, and Peach. Okay, sounds a bit of a coincidence, huh? Because we have not seen those other 3 players for such a long time, so yeah, that might be something worth knowing for. And by the way, those computer players are randomly selected, by the way, so something to want to classify that. And also, I don't think that this particular mode does not contain the computer difficulty select, so before we get the game started, is the fact that we have to do a decided turn order, and this time, rather than dealing with the dice blocks in order to deal with it, we have to choose one of 4 cards. And basically, as you can see, Daisy's gonna go first, and then Peach is gonna go second, and I'm gonna be in third, and then Yoshi's gonna be in last. So because of that, if you really want to be in first place on the turn order, basically you have to get a 1. And if you don't, and if you get a 4, then you have to wait until you're last. So yeah, something's worth knowing for. And there's something cool about this is the fact that basically, before you are able to get started though, you actually have to choose one of these locations you have to go to. Like for instance, I think Daisy's actually on the south point, and then Peach was actually on the east portion, and as far as for me, I'm gonna go on to the west section, and that way I can go right near to where the star card is. And as far as Yoshi is gonna go for, he's probably gonna stick with me. So once that's all set, then we are basically going to get started with the forms of what else? Card Party. Start. So yeah, you probably get the idea of how Card Party plays out. It plays exactly like in the forms of the actual regular party mode, in addition to story mode, except the fact that rather than dealing with, coins to able to actually buy something, or, oh, dang, looks like Daisy got very lucky on her first turn. So yeah, basically the objective in this particular game mode is the fact that you have to obtain most stars by the end of the game wins. And then basically though is the fact that the game will not be over until all these star cards are used. So in this case, it's the fact that the actual... What the heck? Wow, I can't believe that Daisy just managed to swipe us up in the very start of this mode. Oh man, that was something else. But anyway, as you can tell, obviously as I said, we have to get the certain amount of stars at the end of the game wins. So because of that, although you're still able to actually go around the board, but here's the thing, basically we can't able to actually play mini games in this mode, because obviously we're actually going to be going for like, well, after when a turn ends, then it'll just go back to Daisy and vice versa. So either way though, oh, that's actually a good start for me, because I guess that's my 6th roll. So either way though, let's just go into that second star card and... Ah, seriously! Yeah, there's some other times that you might get screwed over with those star cards sometimes. Mainly be like, if you're trying to able to get yourselves a star or something, well, it's like a luck element to it. Like, if you think you're about to try to get the star, but chances are you're probably going to get screwed sometimes by the forms of the stars, so... But I will try my best if I was going to able to actually get into at least 2nd place, much like the forms of the extra stuff in Mario Party 4. That, I'm sure that Tiana, she's already did manage to able to show those extra boards in Mario Party 4 in the forms of, you know, Mecha Board Mayhem and also Mini Board Mad Dash or anything else like that, so yeah, that might be sure it's something, I suppose. But, yeah, this particular game right here, Card Party, is actually very unique, because obviously, why couldn't the actual any other Mario Party games were able to bring this back? I mean, I could have able to actually just let the Amiibo Party should have been from the likes of Mario Party 10, but despite the fact that Mario Party 10 Amiibo Party is, well, bare bones, but regardless of such though, that's what I can honestly try to think about it, so... Okay, something worth noting for is the fact that this is actually the first time ever in a Mario Party game that it features a green space, which it doesn't do anything at all, which that was before when, well, let's just say Mario Party 9 has that, and also Island Tour also has that as well, and heck, even with the forms of Mario Party 10 as well, speaking of Mario Party 10, there you go, and, yeah, this was the first ever debuted in the forms of green spaces in any other Mario Party game, which, because I've obviously researched on it from the forms of Mario Wikipedia, so because of that, technically, this is their first ever debut with the green space, so, well, aside from the fact that it doesn't do anything at all, so, you know what I'm saying. Oh yeah, there's gonna be some item cards here and there, like if you come across into those little mushroom-shaped cards, you can able to actually come across into one of few items, like for instance, I actually got the Cursed Mushroom, and basically what that allows me to do is that I need to able to do a roulette thing, and basically that'll cause your opponents to able to actually get cursed by the mushroom, so because of that, that might be pretty useful though, especially noticeable if you really decide to catch up in one form or another, and then basically that way you can able to let them try to get ourselves a rubbish roll at one point, so yeah, that's something worth noting for, so... But at least I got myself a star back though, despite the fact that I'm actually on 0-0 when it comes to plus and minus kind of symptoms or anything else like that, which I have no idea why I say things like that. Weirdly enough, oh wow, looks like I got myself my hidden die. So that will be cool for me, so that way I can get myself an additional extra 5, so that means I'll go back to 6 movements again, so... But yeah, here's the thing about this mode also, is the fact that you can actually go whatever one you want to go to, which I think is actually pretty top-notch, all things considered. And it looks like I got another star here, so that seems pretty cool. Even though there are some rare occasions where sometimes the star might able to try to trick you. Like, for instance, I've heard several of YouTube videos about the forms of Card Party, that most of the time it can be pretty much depending on the forms of, it could be either be a Z star, or the star, or even a star transforming into a Z star, or star, whatever you want to be more precise. But you just got to be sure you don't get screwed over by luck elements to it, so... And there's also the forms of those happening cards, which actually triggers different events, depending on what specific stimulations. Like, for instance, as you notice, that Daisy's gonna able to approach one of them, and basically, there's the Boo card. And basically what that does, basically it'll try to steal anyone else's stars. So because of that, before you do that, however, though, you have to do a roulette thing. So because of that, she's probably aiming for Yoshi, but despite Yoshi hasn't got a star, so because of that, he or she might not get the star from that. So But of course, much like in story mode, is that you only play 7 characters, which there are obviously Mario, Luigi, Peach, Yoshi, Wario, Daisy, and Waluigi. No DK being playable, or Toad, or even Boo for that matter. And heck, there is no Mini Bowser being playable on this mode. So because of that, the reason why that Boo is not going to be playable on this board, just because, or this card party mode, is because obviously he's the host of the happening events. So, at least that sure might be something worth noting for anyway, so. By the way, I really love the music in the background. It's almost like I was being like in a casino vibe or something like that, which, except the fact that we don't actually come across into any other like casino slots or anything else like that. So either way though, it knows what it is, so. But I digress. Today's day is of course the 28th of August today, in this case in 2021, and it looks like that we've almost there towards at the very end for not only for August, but also at the same time, summer's almost approaching towards the ending, so because of that, it kind of sucks that we won't gonna miss summer again, but at least until 2022, that we were able to come across into summer again. Like, you know, until June, July, and August, and you name the rest, so. But I digress. Ah, no way! No way! Don't you. I can't believe she just does that to me. I can't believe she's got very lucky right there. I'm telling you what though, is the fact that Daisy might able to win this game mode, which I highly doubt it will be, because sometimes it really depending on luck really, and she got the hidden die again! Ah, jeez, she must have got very lucky for this point today. I don't feel like I was gonna able to actually let her go into other 2 games eventually, but either way though, we're just gonna have to cope with the actual unlucky elements to it though, but hey. Alright, so let's see what Peach is gonna get. She might able to actually get. Oh, warping again. Yeah, there's another event which appears to be a warping segment, which basically it actually transports you to the different section of the entire board. So yeah, that's something worth knowing for. Alright, let's see if I can get myself my stars back. Well, at least usually Daisy steals the only star in this particular thing so far. Oh, thank you. Thank you for giving me 2 stars. Oh yeah, there's also another event where basically Bowser might come into play, and basically he'll try to screw you up as always. And heck, even there's actually the forms of a pink Boo card, and basically what that does is the fact that, wow, if someone gets a star or something, they might as well give it to someone else, but it's predetermined by random or something, which I have no idea why I somehow missed details on this. Mainly it's because it has been donkey's years since I actually did manage to play this mode, so because of that, yeah, despite I haven't played this mode for a very long time, but at least this mode is actually really cool. Especially noticeable how the fact that you can able to actually just to go ahead and imagine if you ever play this with your friends and all that stuff in the forms of net play on emulator, it'll be a lot more of a good time, but either way though, it knows where it stands. And there's also the warp pipe item, which what that does, that, and by the way, if the actual cards are covered, basically the actual predetermined paths are completely random. Each time whenever you're able to go right near to the actual card, like what Daisy just managed to went into, and basically it's like a cross formation path, and then sometimes it can be either be like a three-way path or something like that, and there's also the forms of some corners that you have to go through. So and also most of the time that some of these cards will be shuffleized. So either way though, I kind of wish I was gonna able to go for the longest game mode, but because obviously we're trying to show off the other 2 games here and there as well, which we'll point it out whenever we get into it in just a moment. So anyways, let's go to the right, and then we can go down. Yeah, you can actually go whatever you want to go, like, depending on what directions you'll be going. So, either way, though, that seems pretty cool, at least. Even though it does technically remind me of Mario Party Advance, despite the fact that we ended up on a car, and also it's single player only, rather than just playing with your friends and all that stuff. But honestly, I think I actually prefer Card Party over a bit more than the entirety of Mario Party Advance, just because Mario Party Advance is pretty lacky with multiplayer options, and well, despite those, actually the actual comes with the includes game board, like a physical game board, but apart from that though, it's just there. It's just pretty much there. But anyway, let's just see if how I could get myself my next star so that I can able to catch up to Daisy and such. Which I'm hoping I will delta for anyway, so... Oh, come on! Come on, game, don't do this to me! Darn it all. Hey. I'm actually going to have myself a very, very, very unlucky moment worth noting for, so yeah, that seems kind of a bummer. But anyway, let's see what Yoshi's gonna get. He gets a 6, so yeah, you know, that was before when, also when Mario Party 9 was a thing, that basically we have to deal with the forms of the normal dice block, ranging from 1 to 6, basically, so because of that, yeah, this is also the first time ever in a Mario Party game able to have that, so, well, at least in mind anyway, so... Alright, so let's see what Daisy's gonna do for her lucky, streak when it comes to able to actually just to conquer it all for Card Party, but... What? She's just ignored the actual star card right there. Well, at least despite the fact that, Peach might actually like, trying to go near to it, though, but... What?! Oh, how lame of you. How lame of you, trying to able to ignore some stuff like that. But anyways, I think we actually got 2 star cards left, so hopefully we would be able to come across into one on the, well, the far left of the board, so I'm also able to do that. In fact, let me know in the comments below for the question of the day, in terms of the forms of some discussions at that one point. Basically, yeah, are you looking forward to the forms of the next 4 months in between when it comes to the forms of the rest of 2021? Because sure enough, that we pretty much almost nearly at the actual, like, well, let's just say, quarter 4 from the likes of the entire year so far. And because of that, let me know in the comments below, are you excited for some more stuff coming out for it for the majority of the year? Well, aside from the fact that we've only got about the next few days until Sonic Colors Ultimate for the Nintendo Switch and PS4 and Xbox One/Series X will be releasing by that time. Oh, and also, this part does remind me of a similar thing from the likes of, I can't remember what the game is actually called now, but at least I know something, but usually, relatively speaking, it's just that it's been ages since I actually know about this, so... But at least I guess that's a good roll right there, like 6 and everything, so we can probably go right where the star card is, so please it'll be like 2 stars or just a star in general. Okay, that's fine, I'll take just 1 star any day. And please, for the love of God, don't be the set star. Thank goodness for that. Because, again, as I said, sometimes it can be pretty much randomized when, or it can be a bit luck-based most of the time. But either way, though, that's how the point stands. So, I'm feeling incredibly bad for Yoshi right now because he keeps on, like, getting further and further and further away from specifically other cards, like event cards or anything else like that. Speaking of these event cards, like the happening cards, I don't suppose that anyone else can able to actually activate too many emphasis on the forms of the actual happening cards, which I have no idea why. Alright, so let's see what Peach is gonna do here. Hopefully she'll get a higher roll. Well, 4 should be enough for her, because she's actually, like, 1 ahead from that specific star card. And what's the last reward in here? Just a regular star. No star or anything else like that, so, yeah, that's sure is something, I suppose. So, I think that's about it for Card Party. Finish! So yeah, basically as I said, the game will be over until when all these star cards are used. So, those happening cards doesn't count, and also these item cards essentially as well also doesn't count, so... Yeah, I'm afraid I'm in second place, but that's okay, because I did pretty okay, but not the best either, due to the forms of, you know, getting screwed by the forms of, well, 1 or 2 stars, if you will. But at least this mode is actually pretty cool enough, and also the aesthetics about this mode is also very cool looking as well. But yeah, that's about it for Card Party, so let's move on to the 2 bonus games that was included in this game. Ice Hockey, and Mario Party on Ice. And I think, if I recall correctly, this minigame does make a return from the likes of Mario Party, the top 100, which, I can totally see why that was included. So, anyway, so basically, obviously we're going back to 10 characters, which is awesome, so either way though, let's go and pick, tell you what, we haven't played as Mini Bowser for the majority of the Let's Play. I think we should probably select him. And of course, we'll select Boo. And as far as computer players for the opposing team, or the opposite team, we'll go for Wario and Waluigi. In this case, the Wario Bros, basically. So, and we'll let Boo become my team, which the name of the team, by the way, is called Pure Evil. And as far as Wario and Waluigi teammates are called, is Wicked Bros. So, and you can actually set your time based off of how long you get out to able to play that game. So likely you got 1 minute, 3 minutes, or 5 minutes to be more specific. So yeah, here we are on Ice Hockey. So because of that, in this minigame is pretty simple. It's pretty simple. It's the fact that you get out able to score as many points as you can before the other team does. However though, I must admit though right away, is the fact that I'm pretty much used to with the top 100 version of this minigame. Mainly it's because that game has a little bit more of a fluid controls, because this version does feel a bit stiff and just unresponsive sometimes, or maybe because I'm not very good at it, but at least at the very least though is the fact that this was actually unlocked from the get-go before you were able to actually unlock the rest of the mini-games in party mode or story mode, and that's pretty much how that goes basically. So either way though, there's not much else to say about Ice Hockey, honestly. It's just the fact the matter is, though, it's just there, and I have no idea why I just mashed the pause right there, because I need to double check on the controls and everything else like that. Yeah, it's kind of weird that it doesn't give you the instructions before you start the game, but either way, though, only the pause button managed to able to do it for you. So, yeah, that sure is something, I suppose. But, anyway. And I suppose that's pretty much what I can honestly try to talk about in terms of the forms of the bonus mode as a result. Even though there's only like 3 stuff in here, but at least at the very least it does have some really cool stuff. Like, you know, Card Party, as far as I already mentioned this before, is the uniquest mode in the entire game. And from what I can gather, I can honestly agree with most people out there. Especially noticeable how the fact that it feels kind of almost like, you know, the actual realistic version of the actual Mario Party game board and all that stuff. Like, despite there aren't any, environment, you know, events, unlike the forms of the regular party mode. But that's fine by me, because even then though, it's actually pretty cool, which, again, I kinda wish that mode will make a comeback. But it wasn't until in Mario Party 10 that it managed able to get Amiibo Party, but sadly, Amiibo Party has been flopped due to the forms of the requirements of Amiibo that has been locked. So, because if you don't have one of those Amiibos back in the day, then obviously you have to force to use the actual Super Mario lineup of Amiibos, because if you don't, then you're pretty much going to be stuck with other 2 modes, which is of course Mario Party mode, plays like Mario Party 9, and Bowser Party, which is the biggest highlight for Mario Party 10 in my opinion. So, but I digress. So either way though, yeah, as you can see, I'm pretty much getting wrecked at this point because I have no idea why. And mainly it's because of my controls seem to able to actually jinx up or something. But regardless of everything else though, I just want to show this off just in case. Even though I'm not exactly great at it though, especially noticeable because obviously it's been ages since I actually played this variation of Ice Hockey, because again, I'm pretty much used to with the top 100 version, but that's how it goes for me. So either way though, at least I'm glad this minigame will make a comeback in the top 100 at least. But yeah, that's as far as I can usually think about it, so either way, that's Ice Hockey. So yeah, as I said, not very great at it, but at least it's pretty cool to be able to see that in action. So Now let's move on to beach volleyball. Bump, set, ba-bomb. And as I said before, this is basically like the equivalent to beach frolly from the likes of Mario Party 4. Why is that? Because the actual environment itself is pretty much exactly the same as the ones in Mario Party 4, except the fact that rather than just able to actually having ourselves the giant roster of playable characters, like you usually got Donkey Kong, Bowser, and also Shy Guy and Koopa Troopa. But regardless of everything else though, we ended up on, well, 10 characters to be more specific. And also, rather than just only having one ball, instead we now actually have two new balls, which we have Bob-omb Ball and a Dice Ball. I'm also able to show off both of these, basically, because the normal ball plays out exactly the same as the ones in the one, you know, in Mario Party 4. So there's no differences from here. So we'll show off the Dice Ball first, and you can actually set up to the forms of the amount of points you want to go for. Like, you can either set it up to 10 points, 15 points, or 20 points. So yeah, it's definitely a little bit more up there compared to Mario Party 4, because in Mario Party 4, your goal is to obviously aim for 5 points is the winner, basically, so... yeah, it seems a little bit more of an updated version of that specific minigame nonetheless, but sadly to tell you is that much like in Beach Frolly minigame in Mario Party 4, I'm not very great at this, mainly because of my controller problem, and also because it requires the ridiculous amount of timing. So yeah, that's the only thing I'm not exactly great at it, so forgive me if I was actually doing really terrible at this minigame though, but it knows what it is. And plus, because of that though, unlike in Mario Party 4 version of this beach volleyball game, there's no tournament mode, so because of that, it's all likely in free mode. So because of that, you probably get the gist of it. So anyway, and by the way, with the forms of that dice ball, is actually really good for able to try to get even more item or some more points. Like, depending on the actual dice might able to land on the ground. Basically, it says 3, that means the actual team will able to get 3 points. But if you get 6, you get 6 points, and vice versa. So it's basically, it's like a normal dice block, although the only missing numbers are 7, 8, 9, and 10. Although, mind you though, because of how the fact that they're trying to act out the same thing as the forms of the regular dice block in reality world. But unfortunately, I've lost this because, wow, I just realized I haven't got a single point at all. Like, literally, not every single point. But, regardless of such though, we'll show off the Bob-omb Ball just in case. So that way we can able to get ourselves a bit of a different variety when it comes to, like, you know, different skins and everything, so... Then of course the Goomba will show off the beach volleyball host, judging for the point system, you know, much like the ones in Mario Party 4. And this time is the fact that if you manage to able to set the Bob-omb Ball, the Goomba will actually try to tell you of how much times you're able to actually pass the actual the Bob-omb Ball at certain points. Mainly with, like, as you can tell, that every time when someone manages to spike the ball or bump, the actual number decreases. But if it gets to 0, then it will explode, and then basically some different team will able to get a single point. So... yeah, that seems about right, as far as I can usually try to able to remember any single extra portions throughout, but regardless of such though, that's all I can say about this basically, so and also the music was actually obviously a bit different compared to Mario Party 4, just because obviously, well, it's kind of hard to explain, because I know it has been, I would say, for almost like 4 months ago, or technically, 3 months ago actually, ever since when we last played the Beach Volley type of minigame. Even though despite the fact that I'm still suck at that minigame, clearly it's because that's the reason why. That we haven't exactly 100% everything in Mario Party 4 yet. Mainly it's because we're missing 2 of those remaining things so far in the present room. Like, one is the forms of the actual cake, and another one which appears to be the party trophy, which that's the only thing we've got left, so... and by that time I'll be completing Mario Party 4 during time. So, because obviously I managed to play through story mode on my own time during the course of the last few days, like let's just say in July, that basically I managed to completely done with story mode as in Peach, Daisy, and Wario. And I don't feel like trying to go through expert difficulty because otherwise computer players were able to kick my butt no matter what. So, yeah, you probably get the suggestion by that point, so... Although, potentially speaking, is the fact that I would like to able to actually show off the forms of the intense difficulty, but unfortunately though, I don't think I can probably get the intense difficulty unlocked anytime soon. Mainly it's because, well, I did manage to able to play story mode on my own time recently during the course of likely last weekend or something like that, after dealing with my recording sessions. Unfortunately though, my GameCube decides to able to give an error screen once again. Seriously, whenever we get onto Mario Party 6 though, I'm gonna have to able to try to sort that out. And join at some point in, let's just say until next month or so, because obviously we've almost there to September, so meaning that we could possibly try to go ahead and try to deal with, well, let's just say Mario Party 6, enjoying at some point until next weekend. So, that would be exciting, I suppose. Especially noticeable that we're pretty much almost done with the actual Hudson Soft Mario Party games marathon of games, well, at least ever since in 2020. And then, potentially, we might be able to actually conclude the rest of the Hudson Soft Mario Party games for sure. Until specifically, as I said, in 2022, if we're doing Mario Party 7 and of course Mario Party 8. So that might be might be able to be something to look forward to. And once again, I'm doing really useless at this because obviously with, you know, strict timing and everything, and also most of the time that my computer AI will sometimes able to actually sometimes screws me up beyond belief. But regardless of such though, it is there, but at least I did got myself some points at least, like so far I've got 8, but aside from that, not exactly great at this minigame though, but at least it is very similar to Mario Party 4 and the Top 100 version, despite the fact that the Top 100 version is actually based off from Mario Party 4, due to the music and all that stuff, and also it requires like 7 points in order to able to finish the game, as opposed to 5, or even depending on how long you get able to make the game for, like 10 points, or 15 points, or 20 points, which, either way though, yeah, the point stands, so, and I somehow lost again. But at least I did manage to get 9 points though, but aside from that, yeah, I'm not the best at this though, but that's where it goes basically. So yeah, I think that pretty much concludes the bonus mode. It's actually pretty fun, especially noticeable with Card Party, but despite I got screwed over by luck-based elements to it, but apart from those side things though, it's a really great mode. So I guess we should probably end things off here at this point, guys, so join me tomorrow for more of Let's Play of Mario Party 5. This will actually be the final video, because we're going to be hit on to the Frightmare minigame, as well as the extras in this game has to offer. So I'll see you guys tomorrow. Later, fellas.